Today we're playing a grand 8th edition battle. Back to the old days of the 8th edition. 2 players on each side of this elongated table. The battle is called Elven Defense. It centers around an old ruin in an elven forest. The wood elves are first up to defend it, and the high elves will arrive in turn 1 as an additional force. On the other side of the table, orcs are stumbling into the ancient ruins and the elven forests, and they'll be aided by mercenaries from the ogre kingdoms. The orc and goblins go first, with the ogres arriving in their turn 1 as well. Here's a special character on the wood elven side, and the wood elves are already deployed. Next, the orcs will deploy.
The purple sun is a magical vortex that uses the small round template. Once the template is placed, the player then nominates the direction in which the purple sun will move. To determine how many inches the template moves, roll an artillery dice and multiply the result by 3. Any model touched by the template must pass an initiative test or be slain outright with no say-so of the kind.
Den er kjempefin når du har bøfferen sammen med Mjøsmann, så du kan søke ned initiativet til han.
Ja.
Veldig gøy når jeg spiller August med Initiative 2.
Hæ?
Nei,
Dverger.
Det kan være misfire. If the result of the artillery dice is a misfire, center the template on the caster. Uff da.
Jeg spilte mot en flyvende vampyr med leisperlen. Han
And the
først
wood
gjorde det,
elves
så fløy det opp,
are
stilte jeg ved siden
scouting
av hermen, og så purple sun gjennom hele hermen.
into the forests, as per the special elven defense rules.
Nei, det var misfire. Det var ikke misfire.
Unnskyld, jeg skal bukse.
The wood elves moved a bit too far, thinking it was their turn 1. They get a shooting round before the orcs take turn 1.
On range.
All their
Og
bows
går
can fire
skudd
off.
som ignore armor save.
On their first shooting round, the wood elf shot down 1 wound of the orc warboss and 2 wounds of the wyvern he's sitting on. The wounds are randomized between the rider and the mount. And one of the manglers lost 1 wound, but it's quickly up on its feet again, just a bit out of balance. Now the orcs start off the battle by moving, and the ogres, in the same movement phase, come in behind them from the board edge. The wood elf archers are garrisoned in each of the buildings, and the objective is to catch these buildings. That'll be the victory of the battle.
Det vil ikke si at du får pluss 2 runder. Ja, bare så du vet det.
The orcs and goblins move onwards, straight ahead, and the ogres come in their rear. The mercenaries are backing them up.
Da skal dere ha magifase.
Heavy backup. In the first turn, the goblins charge the building, killing 3 elves. The elves kill 2 goblins, but are steadfast in the building, the 3 that remain of them.
Nesten litt fristet til å charge, men det er litt for langt.
Other than that, the Doomdiver in the rear here shot down 1 bird,
Skal vi ikke skyte dit?
the Kestrel riders. The cannon shot down another Kestrel, and the cannonball bounced into the
Hvis du kjører inn archerblokker de her,
magicians
for eksempel,
on
da har du ganske greit
deers,
syn mellom hva som skjer.
but they made a ward save against the cannonball.
Ja.
Foot of Gork did not go through in the magic phase.
Og så har jeg begge blokkene ganske sentralt.
Little happened.
Dette forsvinner.
The orc warlord loses his wyvern to
De
shooting,
bakrekkene der som kan skyte.
and then he shot down himself as well. tried giving the ogre player the die,
Oi!
but he failed a total of 4 saves, so there was no chance for this war boss. As the huge horde of high elves has entered the battle, and they finish off their turn 1, their bolt throwers, the 4 bolt throwers, unable to shoot because they moved into the battlefield the first turn. They finish off the Wyvern war boss and 1 chariot. But other than that, the orcs are now taking over these 2 buildings, while the goblins are taking this building. And the wood elves use their first turn to flee out of the building. The orcs, goblins and ogres are under heavy fire, mostly the orc and goblin side. But they're advancing on the enemy, and if they can get off a foot of Gork, things may turn and will kick the can down the road with the foot of Gork another turn.
Perfect.
In the round of the light and dark, Foot of Gork came up and killed 4 Waywatchers and 11 archers, but then it stomped their own unit of mercenaries, doing 7 wounds to the ogres. However, the light, turning toward darkness, wound back again to light, and Nastra and Arahan was shot down with a cannonball and the Doom Diver. So the orcs, goblins and ogres are having a jubilee because they managed to kill something that's not their own. Over to turn 2 of the elves.
Da skyter med. Nei, den har marcha. Ikke noe mer?
Hei. Vi har tynna godt inn I den mørkeblokka.
Withering spell got through both on these orcs and on the black orcs. On the black orcs it gave a full counting of -3 toughness. So they chose to fire ahead on the black orcs, killing about 15 of the black orcs in the unit. In other words, a wasted round for the elves. They did nothing this round. Oh, they might be capturing the building again if they get off the withering spell one more time.
Just might.
Hmm?
No.
Might doesn't make right, Espen. The ogre general charged into one kestrel, a very nimble charge, and he made it and killed the kestrel with a wound from impact hit and so on. The spiders charged, got 11 on their die to charge the magicians on deers right here. The deer elves won and overran, catching the spider ogres, or pursued rather, into the orc unit. These ogres here, they charged a unit of scouts, killing them and overrunning into the eagle. So the ogres and orcs and goblins are doing some small things, winning small victories, but the tide of the battle seems to be going against them because they're not getting in close with the main of the High Elf army, and they may not be strong enough if they do so. However, they can still hold the houses. Is that a good analysis? One of the buildings we're fighting over in this battle is President Trump's vacation home. The special thing with this home is that you can remove the top and it's empty inside. Things are developing. The ogres have charged into the chaffing light cave. The orcs have been fighting these briar maidens for a couple of rounds, losing a lot of wounds from fireballs from this altar in the middle of the battle, which is casting spells each fighting phase randomly. The mammoth is killed by the wild huntsman, and the wild huntsman and kestrels were wrecking this flank. The kestrels then died to fanatics from the goblins. The white lines charged into the ogres here, and the phoenix guards charged the building to try to take the objective there.
Hvis du går opp og tar den, så kan jeg prøve den som en insane charge.
Ja, det skal det jo ikke.
Only the
Skal det være
Wood Elf
prøve?
Magician
Ja.
is left against the orcs.
Kan det være 11?
From the Brian
Hey!
And the Wild
Tor André,
Elves
kan du kikke? Front charge eller flank charge?
just
Den på
made
den.
a charge to save the magician.
Det er nok flank, altså. Jeg skal bli overrasket at det er fått.
Veien jeg kan slå med.
The Wild Huntsmen here
2
are
inch.
being killed, so there are still some options
Left
left for the ogres, but all the goblins are gone from the battlefield except their
Og så kan
artillery,
jeg ta
and they'll be
hesten.
charged by the Wild Huntsmen. They chose to shoot 4
Så skal jeg bare fjerne
Phoenix
hele
guards
gutten.
down.
Like godt. Bare sånn for sikkerhets skyld.
Impacted.
The Orc and Goblin player will be leaving the battlefield,
Perfekt.
Kan ikke si at det er det.
but we're wishing the best of luck to the ogres.
200.
Going against us,
Okay,
we're
what are-
wishing them luck though.